In this video, we're going to touch on the concept of alignment. Alignment is the biblical understanding of what Yahweh says is being upright. Mind, body, soul, right? God says, let us make man in our own image. Having your mind, body, and soul is what makes you upright as a person. As an example, when it comes to gender nuanced people and androgynous man, you would say that your mind is androgynous because your higher consciousness is conscious of the fact that your body is masculine and the soul, the anima, as Carl Jung would say, is feminine. Remember what God says, you name the animals. An androgynous man, handsome. But on the inside, that soul, that's Mukimne. On the inside, that anima, that's Gretel. Okay? And the self is the center. The self is the seat of your heart and your decision making. So now down here, I kind of wanted to draw out a little bit of a diagram of how we kind of map this out a little bit. This little sun up here is representative of your light, the light of consciousness. And below that is your animal shadow. So as you can see that to the left of this, you have power and intimacy, and then to the right, you have aggression and competition. So now if I were to, just as an example, draw a line straight down the middle like this, you get the quaternity, right? You get the quaternity of the lover. You get the quaternity of the lover and the king. Power, intimacy, and I don't have it on here, but influence, these are associated with the archetype of the magician. Aggression, competition, and status seeking, all those are associated with the archetype of the warrior. As we've discussed earlier, there's a light aspect of that and a dark aspect of that, of this degree of the warrior and the magician. Now, when it comes to the concept of misogyny, misogyny is a man that is misaligned. Misogyny is a man that wants to have undue power over a woman. All of that is coming from a man's animal shadow. When we think about the archetype of Little Red Riding Hood, and we think about the archetype of the wolf in the story, the wolf is an expression of a man in his animal shadow that seeks to consume and devour. The Bible also talks about how the enemy walks around like a roaring lion looking to see who he can consume and devour, right? The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. These are all expressions of people, not just men, but also people in their animal shadow. As it pertains to misogyny, that's where that comes from. It comes from your lower realms of human consciousness. That if you were to mirror Daddy God being Father God, does not create that relationship to women. Father God cannot be a misogynist because he says, mirror me. Father God is higher consciousness. Man is low. Man is the animal. I just kind of want you to see how those sort of archetypes emerge within the experiences of men. And this is ultimately why for gay men it's different. Because as a gay man, we have the lover and the king, but our animal shadow is feminine like a woman because of the Gretel. So you have this androgynous man up top, you have Hansel up top, consciously, and then you have Gretel at the bottom, right? So Gretel is where the bailale comes in. Gretel is where the musicality comes in. These are all the animal shadow. And that's also where intimacy comes in.